Well, good morning, boys and girls. This is a story about a little boy named Robert. And Robert was a very good boy most of the time. He just had one bad habit. You see, Robert liked to take the biggest and the best for himself. Always. It didn't matter what it was, if it was toys, if it was presents, if it was turns at the playground, but it was especially food. Robert loved food. And when they went to Grandma's house, when they went to potluck, when they went to a friend's house, Robert always took the biggest and the best for himself. And you know who did not like that? Mom and Dad. Mom and Dad did not like that at all. In fact, they were getting a little embarrassed, a little concerned. So one day, Mom got a brainy idea. And you know, when Mom gets a brainy idea, you're in trouble. So she called up her sister, their Aunt Carol, who lived a couple houses down, and she told them, "Look, I need you to invite my 3 sons, Robert and his brothers, to your house for dinner." And when Robert and his brothers found out about it, they got really excited because Aunt Carol is the best cook in the entire world. She's better than Mom, she's better than Grandma, she's better than anyone you could even think of. So they were excited. They waited and they waited until finally the day came when they were going to Aunt Carol's house. They get in the car and they drive and they drive and they drive, and as soon as they walk in the door, Robert sees a table filled with pies and with cookies and with chocolate. Oh man, he thought, I cannot wait until I get some of that. So they all sat at the table and they ate their potatoes, they ate their vegetables, they ate their veggie meat. And then finally it was time for dessert. The pies started to pass around, and immediately Robert snatched the biggest and the best pie he could find, and he waited and he watched his 2 other brothers cut into their little pie and saw the delicious centers they had. They had apple, they had blueberry. He thought, mine is definitely going to be better than theirs because I have the biggest and the best. He cut into it, and it was empty. Nothing but crust. This big, beautiful pie had nothing inside of it except crust. What's going on with that? I have the biggest and the best. No matter. It's fine. We still have cookies left. So they passed around the cookies, and immediately Robert grabbed the biggest and the best because he knew that this one was going to be good. He watched the others bite into it. Oh, so good. They had chocolate chips. They had caramel. He cut into his and it fell apart. It crumbled like it was sand. What in the world? Cookies don't crumble like they're sand. Cookies are supposed to be good. And I had the biggest and the best. This isn't fair. This is not fair at all. Well, it's fine. Chocolates are coming around, and Robert loved chocolates more than anything else. And he knew I deserved the biggest one this time because the other 2 weren't good. It came around and he grabbed the 2 biggest chocolates that he could find right from the center. He looked at them. Oh, they look so good. And he took a bite. Ew. What's that taste? It's bitter. Chocolate isn't supposed to be bitter. Chocolate is supposed to be sweet. He picked up the other one and he took a bite. Oh, that one was even worse. But he couldn't be rude to Aunt Carol, so he had to sit there and he had to eat the entire thing of both chocolates. Well, on the way home, Robert was down in the dumps. He was slouching. He was mumbling to himself, this is not fair. This is not fair. Nothing's fair. Nobody likes me. And his mom turned around and she said, Robert, what's wrong? Didn't you like the dinner? Robert said, no. Of course I didn't like the dinner. Nothing went right. The pie was gross, my cookie fell apart, and my chocolate was bitter. And I got the biggest and the best. Why wasn't anything working out? And his mom said, maybe next time you should leave the biggest and the best for somebody else. Would anybody like to pray for us this morning?
Thank you for this day.